Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I am your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. So, this show today is going to be a little controversial, but it is what it is. And I would love to have you guys chime in as much as possible with your views. I'm calling this show today, Go Woke, Go Broke. What happens when the people say enough is enough? Go woke, go broke. What happens when the people say enough is enough? And we're going to be talking specifically about, some people call it an agenda. Some people say it's not an agenda. It's just a community that is finally asking for its voice to be heard. Whatever part of the debate you land on, there has been this obvious push by members of the LGBTQIA plus community to get their message heard, to the degree that some people are arguing that it's being shoved down the throats of everyone else who does not believe in their narrative, their ideology, their culture. But it's gotten to the point where certain businesses have decided to, get involved in this by incorporating specifically transgender celebrities into their national commercials. But the response that they anticipated getting, I believe, is not what they got, because instead of people celebrating them and saying, oh, bravo for the inclusion, their core customers said, nah, not having it. Enough is enough. We're going to stop buying your products because we've had enough of this quote unquote agenda to push this message down our throats. And so we're seeing that there are companies in the United States that are losing billions of dollars because they would have made this decision. And people are now pushing back and saying enough is enough. So we're going to be talking about that today, looking at specific examples, and then looking at whether or not this go woke or go broke um, theology goes beyond just a couple of uh, mainstream companies losing mainstream money because they had decided to go woke. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. I'd love to hear from you guys in this conversation. I don't want this to just be me talking to myself for 2 hours. So here's how you can get in. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM Facebook pages. Also streaming live on YouTube. And you can also catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. The telephone numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 242-801-0271, 801-0271. We are frustrated. Also on radio, I shouldn't say streaming, we're airing on radio. 99.5 FM is where you find us on the dial here in New Providence. You can also catch us by radio in Grand Bahama. Those of you who are tuned in from throughout the Family Islands or outside the country, a huge welcome to you all. I do appreciate each and every one of you who have tuned in to join in on the show today. Specifically, like James Lowe. He says, I'm a pastor. I am Pastor James Cartwright Lowe, and I'm watching from Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to you, James Lowe. Andre Major says, good afternoon, Miss Michelle. I'm listening. Glad to have you, Andre. And Rose McPhee is sending out a good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Rose, as well. So if you haven't already done so, like and share the show, because we really controversial today. Yeah, we got to talk about this, because I got little issues with two of the brands that have decided to go woke. And you'll see why when we get to those brands. But I want to start off with how this controversy, I guess, sort of began. And I don't know if it's fair to say it began with these folks, but they certainly were the ones whose fall was very, very public after they decided to partner with a transgender influencer to promote their product. The specific company I'm talking about is Bud Light, the beer company out of the United States. They decided that they would use a very popular transgender influencer to start promoting their beer to, I guess, the LGBTQIA community. Now, many questioned whether or not they were just trying to open their beer to a new market, or if they were trying to jump on the bandwagon, showing their support for this particular culture, this particular grouping of people, in order to be woke, to be with the in crowd. Well, no matter what you think in terms of why they just made this decision, after they would have put that ad campaign out with the influencer, all proverbial hell broke loose. And people were like, hell no, you're pushing this thing too far. And instead of being applauded, they lost billions of dollars. And many of their traditional customers who said, enough is enough. We are sick and tired of y'all trying to shove this ideology down our throat. And so Bud Light found themselves in a position where they literally lost billions of dollars because the people decided, that's it. We drawing the line in the sand right here, no more. And they got to them where many corporations and rich people only can understand one language, and that's the language of their money. You touch their money, and all of a sudden they could hear you. So when they started to lose all of their clients and lose all these billions of dollars, now all of a sudden they realize, well, maybe this is not a good idea. And now they're scrambling, trying to come back. The question is it too much, too little, too late? So we're going to be looking at this whole situation starting with Bud Light. And trust me, Bud Light ain't the only one. Well, we're going to start with Bud Light and their attempts to come back after such massive losses that they would have experienced as a result of them going woke. Here now is a report by Sky News talking about their attempts at what some are calling a cringy comeback.
Bud Light made a huge mistake in appointing trans activist Dylan Mulvaney to be their ambassador in April of this year. And since then, things have gone from bad to worse for the company.
This follows the latest update on Bud Light, with Anheuser-Busch, reportedly the parent company, losing $27 billion in market value thanks to its attempt to force transgender ideology onto America's beer-drinking men and women.
And what's worse, they've alienated their fiercely loyal customer base.
I'm a firm believer that you, the individual, have some autonomy in this game. And when people say, okay, that company, they've gone woke, they're promoting trans ideology or whatever it might be. In this case, it was because of this influencer, Dylan Mulvaney, who supposedly is trans or whatever it might be. It's like, okay, you don't like your own audience. You don't like the frat guys who drink Bud Light. We're just not going to drink it anymore. And Bud Light, I mean, they really destroyed the brand. And I'm telling you, man, this one's going to stick. It's embarrassing to go and, get Bud Light at a bar or at a party or wherever anymore.
Once the financial losses started to hit, the company distanced themselves from the people behind the Dylan Mulvaney stunt.
Now, we know what happened at Bud Light when they endorsed the transgender TikToker Dylan Mulvaney. As a little reminder, this is what the Vice President of Marketing said at the time about why they sponsored Dylan.
And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of bratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
Well, two people from Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, their marketing department specifically, have now gone on leave after all of this. What a surprise. Who would have thought this would blow up in their face?
Losing billions of dollars is exhausting. I've got to go on leave.
Hopefully the message is now getting through. If you do these things, it won't work. No.
The disaster that is the performance artist of Dylan Mulvaney, we now learn that there's more problems, not just for Bud Light, who people are not buying, they're not going back to it. They have found the alternatives when it comes to their beer of choice, but the ad agency responsible for further empowering the performance artist is in even more trouble now.
The reports are that they are in an all-out panic, and why wouldn't they be? They've made a legendary mistake. They now have made this brand, rather than more sellable, they have made it a laughingstock. To be caught with a can of Bud Light in America now is like being caught with your pants down. You look like a fool. Everyone will laugh at you. You're not in on the joke. You've made yourself a national humiliation just by selecting the wrong beer can. And for those who have been living under a rock and haven't yet been told what's happened to that brand and what it now means, they're about to find out the hard way. They're going to be the butt of a lot of jokes just by ordering a beer that used to be symbolic of middle America.
Management then released a series of ads clearly attempting to distract from the saga.
Woke Bud Light has now tried to clean up its act. You're not going to believe this one. In the most cynical move I've seen since Hillary Clinton claimed she never left home without a bottle of Tabasco in her purse, Bud Light is now trying to hide behind veterans and the flag. That's right, they're running a special limited edition Bud Light featuring a very worthwhile charity, Folds of Honor, which helps give scholarships to family members of wounded and deceased veterans. But as if to underline the point, their aluminum bottles will also now feature sport hunting camouflage. In other words, Bud Light is pandering to the very people they hate, but who they need to buy their beer.
But it didn't work. An experiment that gave away free beer didn't even entice drinkers, as they were so embarrassed to be seen with a Bud Light in hand.
It's 6:45. Experiment here. There appear to be 3 different types of beer in this cooler. Franklin, Tennessee, Yuengling, Ultra, and Bud Light. Only beer left at the West Fest VIP, whatever you want to call it, event, Bud Light.
All right. So, clearly, their traditional audience, their traditional customer base, I should say, was incensed by the decision of Bud Light to partner with Dylan Mulvaney, who again is a transgender influencer, very, very popular transgender influencer in the United States. And the backlash, I do believe the hemorrhaging continues as we speak. So in other words, they still losing money. Shareholders pulling out. This thing is really, caused this company to start to experience a serious nosedive, because as opposed to just simply accepting the message and saying, well, we have to be inclusive, whatever, their customer base said, no, we ain't accepting nothing. We sick and tired of y'all trying to push this message down our throats and say, take it or leave it. So if your attitudes towards us is take it or leave it, we gonna leave it. And then see what you're gonna do. Because here's the thing. As much as they would like you to believe that the whole world is leaning in that direction, they're a very small minority of people. They got a big, loud voice. And if you ain't woke, you'll believe that because of the volume of their voice, that they have so many people supporting them. But no, this is a very small segment of society. But because they're mouth loud, people are being intimidated by this small minority to not stand up and say, wait a minute now, this is madness. This is no. But the customer base of Bud Light came together and said, you know what? No, we ain't having it. Y'all have made money off of us for all these years. Let me see if you got enough people in that community to support your company, because we ain't buying your beer no more. Billions of dollars later, they have lost. And guess what, y'all? The very people that they were pandering to, like I say, Bud Light tried to start to backtrack a bit now, and they say, oh, shucks, oh, crap, this ain't going the way we thought this was going to go. We got to now put some ads out to try to win our customer base back. So the very people who they decided to pander to by going in this direction have now turned on them, including Dylan Mulvaney, the transgender who was in the ad, who sparked this controversy in the first place. You can't make this up. Now they attacking Bud Light to say, oh, how y'all could now try to backtrack instead of standing and continuing to support us. So now we got a problem with you. Bud Light and they would be famous to call between a rock and a hard place. Because you decide to put your corporate neck on the line. And you decide that you're going with this popular narrative of inclusion and being woke. And now when your customer base say to you, y'all could carry your wokeness, we ain't on your run. And you wake up out this stupor that seems to be taking over the world. And you say, boy, I don't know, this ain't the same way. This ain't going in the direction we thought it was to go. Even sit down, the two people in the marketing department who come with the idea, you sit them down. And the very people who you lose billions of dollars for now turning against you. You really can't make this up. So it's amazing to me how when people decide as a collective to come together to stand for what they truly believe and not allow anybody to push anything down their throats and stay quiet just because it's politically correct to do so. You see the power in that? Of people coming together and finally saying, no, we're not going to accept this just because you say we have to. Bud Light is now feeling the proverbial and the very real pinch for deciding to jump on this bandwagon. And they ain't only once. And we could talk about others in a minute. Because truth be told, Dylan Mulvaney started all of this trend. And again, I don't know if it's fair enough for me to say started, but certainly got a lot of attention with this trend by being the face of advertising for a tampon company. You heard me right. I say tampon. You know, that thing that women use during the monthly? A company actually decided to get a transgender woman who is a biological male to advertise tampons to women. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi. I am just so proud of you to have the courage to talk about this because so much of the media is just, oh, we can't talk about that. We can't say anything. I think that is awesome of you.
Thank you.
But I haven't listened to the whole show because I just got into my car. But you see what happened to Target as well. Lost millions of dollars because of the same narrative. What I don't understand with this small group of people that I understand is being backed by a lot of money to push this agenda down the throats of.
Did we lose the caller? I'm not hearing her all of a sudden.
If you'd like to.
Okay, we lost the caller. Hopefully she will call back. Yeah, again, Bud Light is not the only one. You talking tampon companies. Tampons, people. Tampons. Of all the women in the world, famous, infamous, nobody knows you. Billions of women in the world they could choose to advertise tampons to other women. They gonna choose Dylan Mulvaney. Now, what is that about? How far are we going to go with this woke foolishness? And as a woman, I am incensed. And it doesn't end there. So we're going to take this break. When we come back, we are going to look at the fact that the LGBTQI plus community has now turned on Bud Light. And I say serves them right, because you shouldn't have gone down this road in the first place, in my humble opinion. We're going to look at that. And then we're going to look at these other companies that's supposed to be promoting products for women and using biological males to promote products to women. And y'all expect us to just sit back and take this foolishness. The devil is a liar and the truth is not in him. And my encouragement to you women today, stand up. Stop letting these people think they could replace us. Because this foolishness got to stop. This is madness. And I've said it before on another show. Whatever you choose to do in your life is your personal business. If you choose to be a transgender, that's your business. That ain't got to do with me. More power to you. But when you decide to try to shove this on my throat and tell me I got to suck it up, see, then you just made this my business. And I, for one, I ain't know for the rest of y'all, but I, for one, ain't to sit back and swallow your caca and call it chocolate. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Enough is enough. So the show today, go woke or go broke. Go woke, go broke. What happens when the people stand up and say enough is enough? We will have more after this word from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Youngevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company today. We are talking about go woke, go broke. What happens when the people stand up and say enough is enough? I would love to hear from you. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 242-801-0271, 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages, also streaming live to our YouTube channels. And speaking of channels, we're on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. Go ahead and download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. And last but by no means least is our radio audience. You guys rock. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're here in New Providence, over the water, across the water in Grand Bahama, throughout the family of islands, and especially those of you who are listening from outside the country. A huge welcome to you all. I appreciate you so much for being here today. So, we are talking about what happens when the people come together and say enough is enough. And they now start to pull away their support of these brands that have decided to go woke. And many of these brands now find that that decision to go woke is leaving them broke. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. And we started the show by talking about the fallout that Bud Light received after partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, a very popular transgender influencer, and their clients saying, you know what, we've had enough of this crap. We ain't buying your beer no more. And they have so far, and the hemorrhaging continues. They have literally lost billions of dollars because people are now pushing back and saying enough is enough. Now, if that weren't enough for them, the very people that were trying to be inclusive, the members of the transgender or LGBTQIA community, have now turned on them because Bud Light decided, okay, we got to do something to fix this. We got to stop the bleeding. We got to stop the bleeding. So let's now start to cater back to our original clients, and maybe we could appease them to come back. So now members of the LGBTQIA plus community saying, hell no. Y'all ain't gonna get off the hook that easy. So now they turned it on Bud Light, including Mulvaney. You can't make this up. You don't believe me? Check this out.
It's not only conservatives that are abandoning Bud Light. The LGBTQIA plus community are also furious with the brand.
Meanwhile, proving that once you start making people angry, it's pretty hard to stop, the progressive left gay community is now furious at Bud for trying to claw back its rapidly disappearing customer base. This headline, Bud Light tries to appease fragile bigots with camouflage redesign amid Dylan Mulvaney row. In the progressive gay site pinknews.com pretty much says it all.
Despite all the money and publicity Bud Light gave her, Dylan Mulvaney is now turning on the brand as well.
Dylan Mulvaney's actually mad at Bud Light. Dylan Mulvaney has ruined Bud Light through this partnership. And look, it wasn't Dylan's responsibility to see the harm coming. But once it did come, Dylan should have been thankful that Bud Light did not kick Dylan underneath the bus, kick Dylan under, and then run the bus back and forward over Dylan. That's not what they did. They just went silent. Dylan should be thanking them for that. That's I mean, my side of this issue, I presume your side of this issue, wanted Bud Light to come out and say, we're sorry. We're sorry we partnered with Dylan. We misjudged our audience. At the same time, we were calling them too fratty. We partnered with not just a trans person, that's one thing, but one of the most offensive trans people we've seen in the public eye.
And Bud Light's latest attempt to win back their customers has again fallen flat, despite being anti-woke, with commentators calling the new ad campaign desperate and cringy.
Bud Light has lower sales than they've had. They've lost 50% of their sales year over year, Paul. 50%. And they still don't know how to solve it. They put out a commercial of a bunch of guys grunting when they sit down in their chairs. So now it's like their way of saying, like, we understand and we love the fratty men. This is what they're like. Yes, again, no man I know is that way. This is not going to woo anybody back in your camp. They can't figure out how to stop the bleeding.
Even the heir to Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, is embarrassed by the entire saga and cleanup attempt.
Now, the backlash was extraordinary, but it seems to not just be loyal consumers of the beer that aren't happy, because the heir to the Anheuser-Busch family, being the parent company of Bud Light, has given a pretty scathing statement to TMZ. Billy Bush joined TMZ Live podcast with Harvey Levin and weighed in on all the scandals surrounding the failed marketing attempt. He said, I think my family, my ancestors are rolling over in their graves. They were very patriotic. They loved this country and what it stood for. They love this country because it is a free country and people are allowed to do what they want. But it was never meant to be on a beer can and never meant to be pushed in people's faces. So they would have never marketed their brands that way. As you know, AB was one of the greatest marketers ever in any business, and they were incredible with what they came out with. The Clydesdales, the frogs, the lizards, all the different promotions they had, all the different advertising they had, and the last thing they would have done was get as controversial as InBev has with Dylan Mulvaney advertising.
Despite the damage control, finances are still looking grim. Bud Light will need to play a long game of reputational rehabilitation if they're ever going to reclaim the title of America's favourite beer.
So half their revenue gone, half, like 50%, half, right? Now, while this one company, Bud Light, has lost billions of dollars because of their decision to partner with Dylan Mulvaney to put out that ad. Dylan Mulvaney now, you would think that, people would be like, boy, I might even quietly support your movement, but I don't want to touch this dude or woman or they or whatever with a 10-foot pole. No! Instead, Dylan Mulvaney, the social media influencer who faced now I'm reading from an article. I'm trying to see from Variety. It says Dylan Mulvaney, the social media influencer who faced a transphobic backlash earlier this year after setting a partnership with Bud Light, was saluted on Sunday night at the Streamy Awards honoring social media creators. Mulvaney won the award for Breakout Creator at the ceremony hosted at the Fairmont Century Plaza Hotel in Los Angeles. An emotional Mulvaney, an emotional Mulvaney urged the audience to work hard at being allies for the LGBT community. Mulvaney told the crowd that trans people and social media stars have a lot in common. People often underestimate us, they said. Now, realize the pronoun that's used now for Mulvaney. They said this. I'm reading again from an article in Variety. Mulvaney nodded to the flak that they endured after Bud Light backed away from a promotional partnership with them after Anheuser-Busch was inundated with an organized campaign of homophobic complaints. The TikTok sensation called on the streamy crowd to use their reach and influence to promote anti-hate messages. If we can, this is quoting Mulvaney, if we can influence people to buy a $25 smoothie at Erewhon, I hope I pronounced that word right, we can also do this, end quote, Mulvaney said. I'm going to have a beer. The 13th Steamy Awards, hosted by YouTube star MatPat, was overall a lively affair. Top nominees such as AMP, Ryan Trahan, Jay Shetty, Michaela Nogueira, and others. It went on to list a bunch of people. Had clear cheering sections in the ballroom. A number of attendees brought older children from preteens to 20-somethings to help them identify the social media stars in the room. Most of the acceptance speeches were short and sweet, sidestepping showbiz conventions of reeling off a list of agents, managers, and publicists. Most winners use some variation of the phrase, appreciate you. Okay, they go on to talk more about the event. All right, so anybody else in the real world, I would think, if they are part of a promotion that loses the company billions of dollars, I think I could put my neck on the line to say chances are they aren't going to be rewarded for that. But yet, Mulvaney is rewarded with a Steamy Award for being creative. You can't make this up. So, now that we see the people have decided enough is enough, because again, I said at the beginning of the show that this isn't just about Bud Light. I just used them as an example because, I mean, their fault was so public. But this same Mulvaney, like I said earlier in the show, was contracted by a tampon company, a tampon that women use to stop the flow of blood, or not stop it, but you understand what I'm trying to say, to intercept the flow of blood during the monthly periods. A tampon company, somebody in that marketing department sat around a table and said, you know it would be a good idea? Let's get a transgender woman who can never have a period in their entire life to advertise tampons to women. Yeah, that's a good idea. And nobody sitting around that table had the common sense to say, I think you're pushing this a little too far. Oh no, because we gotta be politically correct. We don't want to stand out. We don't want to say, no, this don't make no sense. No, this may not go, because then they're gonna look at us and they're gonna say we are bigot. We transphobic. So no, we can't tell this person sitting around this boardroom that they pushing this thing a little far. No. We can just go right along with this foolishness. This is the crazy world we live in today. So they collectively decided to use a transgender person to advertise tampons to females, biological females who actually have need of this product for very real biological, physical reasons, like intercepting the flow of blood, which comes from biological women and females. This is the craziness that's going on in this world today. And I don't know how we get to the point where we so interested of likes that we scared to say, this is nonsense. We so afraid to go against the grain, to go against the tide. And quite frankly, like I said before, these people are a minority, a significant minority. They just loud. And people who are supposed to have common sense don't have the testicular fortitude or the ovarian audacity to say, no, enough. Well, you may not have it sitting around that table, but your clients sure do. Your customers sure do, as Bud Light is now learning. People tired of the madness. People are tired of having this message shoved down their throat and being told, you got to accept this or we can cancel you. No, how about we as a collective, who you have depended on for all these years to make you money, how about we cancel you and stop buying your products? Since it is more important for you to cater to this small minority of people just to be woke. Because some of you all only understand the language of your pocketbook. The bottom line is the money. And if the heir to the company that founded or owns Bud Light, they get up and say, man, look here. Man, look here. My ancestors right now probably spinning in their grave looking at this foolishness. If he could say that, my God. You know, this conversation really goes even beyond just this whole LGBTQIA plus narrative. Because by extension, the same thing applies to, let's say, politics in our country. You see the madness going on, and I only talking about this administration, I talking about successive administrations. You see the madness going on. And instead of you coming together as a collective, as a group, as a large base of people to say enough is enough, no, you will cower in the corner and allow these handful of people to dictate to you how your life can go. And all you got the stomach to do is whisper in the corner and hope and pray some kind of hero emerges to save you. Y'all don't understand the power you have. There is strength in numbers. We keep telling you all that. So instead of being yellowback cowards and allowing these people to shove anything down your throat, say enough is enough. We're not taking this anymore. You see what happened in the Bud Light? Now they scrambling trying to figure out what to do to stop the hemorrhaging. And quite frankly, I don't know if they could stop this one. They just may go under as a result. But again, they ain't the only ones doing this madness. Because you got a tampon company trying to convince women that they should buy a product that somebody who ain't never seen a period before in their life and never will is promoting. You couldn't find out of all the women in the world a female woman, biological, born, naturally born female, to advertise to women about tampons. You go into a transgender person to do that. And then you can turn around and say, this is not an agenda? Don't think we stupid. Don't really mistake we stupid. If that's not an agenda, what it is? How far are you on them to push this? And more importantly, how far do the masses intend to allow you to push this before they stand up and say, enough is enough? Now people say, "Oh, Michelle, you brave." Am I brave? I don't call this being brave. I just think that we need to stand up for what we know is, or what we at least believe to be right and to be wrong. We need to say wrong is wrong and right is right if that's what we truly believe. This ain't got nothing to do with bravery. I appreciate you saying that. But everybody should be standing up for what they believe. Evil only persists in the world when good men stand by and do nothing. In other words, you see the foolishness going on, but you too scared to say anything, so you can just let it slide. And then you wake up a little later on, you try to figure out how we get here. Oh my God, what is happening in our society? Oh Lord, how we get here? We get here because you sat by and did nothing and said nothing while you see the foolishness going on. That's how we get here. Again, this don't even have to be just a conversation about LGBTQI. Just look at our lives and all the garbage we've allowed to be shoved down our throat for decades. And we sit by and we stand by and we say nothing and we do nothing. And then you wake up one day and you go, oh, I don't understand how the Bahamas get to be where we are. Look in the mirror. Where were you when it counted? Why did you not stand up and say no? So if I brave, all us need to be brave. Because there is power in numbers, people. Bud Light learning that the hard way. So, again, just so that this is not a conversation only about Bud Light, there are other mainstream brands who decided to partner with the same Dylan Mulvaney, the same one. Because Dylan Mulvaney has, millions of followers on social media. So, they figure, okay, we are going to jump on this bandwagon and use Dylan as the spokesperson for our product. Whether this is something that Dylan should be associated with or not. And, in all fairness, you could argue, well, everybody's drink beer. And that's true. I mean, not everybody, but you understand what I mean. Men drink beer, women drink beer. So what's the big deal? So maybe they should decide to start marketing to other people other than the traditional customer base. Everybody drinks beer, not only grunting men. You could argue that. That's a fair argument. Even though their customer base didn't quite take it that way. That's a fair argument. But how you could justify an individual who ain't never see a period before in their life and never will advertising tampons to women. And it doesn't stop there. Because on the other side of the break, we're going to hear about other brands like Nike and Adidas who have also decided to go down this yellow brick road. Because we live in La La Land. The imaginary friends have taken over the world. We don't live in reality anymore. We live in pretend land. And in pretend land, somebody who never see a period should be advertising tampons. And that same person who ain't got no breasts should be advertising bras. You heard me. Bras. OMG, we can take this commercial break. And then on the other side of the break, we're going to look at Nike and Adidas, who have also decided to jump on this woke bandwagon. Are they going to going to be going broke too? Have they decided to go woke? And as a result, will they go broke? Will the people stand up and say enough is enough? And specifically, will women stand up and say enough is enough? We're going to talk about it on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday afternoon. Okay, so the numbers to call, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page, as well as the official Global 99.5 FM page. We're also streaming live on YouTube, and you can catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. I apologize for the siren in the background. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device. And boy, that's loud. And check us out there. Alternatively, listen by way of radio. 99.5 on the FM dial here in New Providence. Thank you for listening. Thank you to everybody from outside of New Providence, Grand Bahama, Family Islands, and across the world who are tuned in today. I really do appreciate you being here. We're talking today, go woke, go broke. What happens when the people say enough is enough? Now, let me just say this, okay? I think it's important to say this. I don't want you guys to think that I have something against members of the LGBTQIA community. I'm not homophobic. Some of my very closest and dearest friends are a member of that community. I don't have a problem with people who are LGBTQI. I don't. I don't want y'all to walk away from this show saying, oh, Michelle is homophobic. No, some of my dearest and closest friends are a member of that community. I just want to put that out there. And I respect them as people. I love them dearly. Okay? Like I said before, what you do in the privacy of your home and your bedroom is your business. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't my business. And I ain't trying to make it my business. And one of the things that I've never understood about this whole push is why people think it's necessary to go on record to talk about who they sleeping with. How to get my business? What make you think I want to know who you sleeping with? How'd I get to be my business? I mean, for the most part, you will see heterosexual people going on saying, well, you know, my last sexual encounter was with, you know. Why you think, those of you who are pushing this, why you think I need to know who you're sleeping with? That ain't my business. That's your business. There's certain things that are, you know, TMI, too much information. I don't need to know who you're sleeping with. And this is why people call this an agenda. And especially when you see governments like United States of America deciding that they got to get involved in this and shove this down the throats of other countries around the world. What? Why you think it's my business who people choose to sleep with? That ain't none of my business. But now when you decide to come and shove this down my throat and tell me you got to incorporate this into your national narrative, you got to incorporate this into your laws, you got to incorporate. Now, see, you just made this my business. See, you just made this my business. And you can't turn around and tell me you can cancel me because my view is different from yours. Because you decide to bring this in my face. So if you decide to throw this in my face, you better be prepared to hear what I got to say about it. Because that wasn't none of my business to begin with. So, let's get back to the matter at hand. Go woke, go broke. What happens when people stand up and say enough is enough? That's the topic of the show today. And we started by talking about the fallout of Bud Light, how they've lost billions of dollars as a result of partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, who is a very popular transgender influencer. Millions of followers, okay? You have this bear company that decided to put Mulvaney on the cover of their bear can, and everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of their customers, their customer base pulled out and said, screw you all, we don't want to be a part of this. And so now they're losing billions of dollars. But like I said in the last segment, you know, you could argue that they're being unreasonable because everybody drinks beer. You have males who drink beer, you have females who drink beer. Beer is not specific to any, specific gender. So that's a fair argument. But now, when you start using this person to advertise products that are specifically for women, like tampons, specifically for women, designed for a specific purpose to stop the flow of blood or to intercept the flow of blood during a period. Males don't have menstrual periods. Males don't go through menstruation. Males will never know what it is like to have a period. So why you gonna use one of them, whether or not they identify themselves as a woman, don't matter to me. Have they ever had or will they ever be able to have a period? No. That is not my opinion. That is biological fact. So who sat around that marketing table and thought it was a good idea to use this individual to advertise to a woman, a female, who actually has periods? What could the possible message behind that be? Because unlike beer, you can't argue that everybody drinks beer when it comes to menstruation. Only one set of people has have that. Out of all the biological females in the world, you're going to Dylan Mulvaney to choose that person to advertise tampons to women. Okay. Something right here. Now, let's go a little further. Nike has decided to use this Dylan Mulvaney in ads for women's sports bras, you know, like females who have breasts and are active in sports. And, you know, especially if you have larger breasts, you know, you try to take part in sports and that could be very uncomfortable because when you know, jumping up and down or, you know, whatever, and your sisters, you know, the twins jumping up and down and, you know, that could be a little uncomfortable for women, right? So they have created the sports bra, which is a bra that is designed to hold the sisters down while you do your business, while you participate in the sport. Well, this company, somebody around that marketing table, decided out of all the people in the world who they can use to advertise women's sports bras is a little skinny transgender person who ain't got no breasts. You can't make this up. In this particular clip, an international journalist by the name of Nana Akua says, man, hold on. How far y'all getting with this foolishness now? How far? How far we can take this foolishness before the people finally stand up and say enough is enough? Here now is that clip.
Have you ever heard anything so ridiculous? From the brand that gave us Just Do It, Nike are using trans influencer Dylan Mulvaney, a biological man, to sell women's bras. How is that a good idea? Have a look at this. This is Dylan Mulvaney promoting Nike's sports bra for women. So if you're listening on radio, you can download the app or go to gbnews.com where you'll see a biological man with no breasts prancing around in a material bra and a short pleated skirt, or leggings I think he was wearing, in a manner that can only be described as a caricature of woman, an insult to actual women. It's almost as bad as this on Twitter.
Why? Stop. Why is this thing not hot? I swear to God, if anyone says welcome to womanhood, I'm gonna...
Of course, if you weren't watching that and you were listening on radio, it's a man writhing around in supposed agony, dressed as a woman, but with a cheesy grin on his face as he pretends to be suffering with period pains. Absolutely ridiculous. I can tell you now that no woman I know smiles like that when she's going through agonising cramps of a period. We have to endure this, and we do it once a month. We just get on with it. We get on with life. So this is clearly a man. And if you think there's nothing sinister in this, then take a look at this third clip of terrified swimming champion Riley Gaines being ambushed by screaming trans activists and hit twice by a guy in a dress after saving women's sports speech, after doing a speech on that at San Francisco State University. Cops say that there were no arrests. I apologise for the flash photography there. Hardly the sound of a so-called vulnerable community. As far as I can see, it is the women who are the vulnerable ones. Riley had to hide in a cupboard for 3 hours. But let's get back to transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, who has over 12 million followers across TikTok and Instagram. And it is reported that for each post for Nike, she received around about $150,000. Other major brands like Bud Light and Maybelline have also used the influencer and paid potentially similar amounts. So instead of Nike using brilliant female athletes, of which there are many, like Riley Gaines, to promote something that is clearly required and designed specifically for adult human females, which is bras, they could have used women. Nike have chosen to use a biological man, a space that should actually have been taken by a female. Sometimes I have to ask myself whether I'm living in a delusion. What on earth were they thinking? Why would that make me, as a woman, want to buy anything from Nike ever again? I've decided personally that I'm going to boycott the brand. I have absolutely nothing against someone who is trans. But what I do object to is the stupidity of brands like this that think that women will buy anything, especially when it's being mocked in this manner. It's just in such a woke mockery of what a woman is. We are not just simply makeup and dresses. We are more than that. The majority of women are childbearers who keep the planet populated, and we sacrifice a lot to do that. And even if we do not bear a child, we go through the trials and tribulations of periods and menopause, and after all of that, that is no laughing matter. In a pinned comment to Nike's verified Instagram account, the company told customers to be kind, be inclusive, and encourage each other. Well, if Nike are happy to forego my custom for a handful of trans women, then I'm happy to leave them to it. I'm calling on women. Next time you see a Nike product, don't buy it. Don't do it.
I'm with you on that. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Miss Malcolm.
Hi.
Just remind me of seeing a $7 straight bill. It ain't exist. But what we seeing here today, it seems like what they're doing, taking all the top name brand things, what they know the people them must buy. And what they're using, there's agenda behind all of these things. That they go into the Nike and they go into the woman part, letting a man now run that commercial. We ain't seen nothing yet, Miss Malcolm. These things is only the beginning of time that what we are seeing. Because why? It gonna soon start in our food, what we buy. Because the agenda is behind this now. They are saying now, we are gonna get everybody on board with us. And we are targeting the things that they buy and they use. So what the people are going to do? And look at who they are using. Using a man who, in their right mind, the mind that becomes so corrupt because of the dollar bill, the mind that become corrupt. They know a man don't see those kind of things. But because of the money, and their mind is corrupt, but what the Bible said, this still is not the end. Voices things that we are going to see as the Lord spare our life to see some things that we never seen. As we're going to say, well, you can't make these stories up. Is this for real? Is this for real? Because why? They want to get everyone on board with this. You all got to buy this from us, and you all coming our way and you all can do. And you're going to have people have pleasure. That's what the Bible said. Man, when you say man, it means women too, will have pleasure in buying these things and do these things. You see? They can have pleasure, and this doesn't look like a joke to them. They laugh at it, and they wear it, and for the game show, and they'll do this and the next thing. But, you know, all of these things. But what it's telling us to do, we as who know the truth have to look up. But the end is not yet come. Watch for the food. Watch inside these food store and see who name going on these name brand things, what we buy and stuff like that. So when we say, well, why he on commercial with this and this ain't got nothing to do with that? Because the time that we are living in some serious time, Ms. Malcolm. Some time that we will just say, I didn't know how to see this happen, and yes, I know who they're trying to capture. They're trying to capture now to train them like under 16 and things like that. The older set like over 40 and 15 things like that. They know, we know better. But there's a whole crew out there who they gonna wonder after all of these things that what we say now, Ms. Malcolm. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for calling. I want to read a comment from Matthew Simmons on Facebook. Matthew says, either Facebook or YouTube. Facebook. Matthew says, it's y'all women that give them power. Sometimes having these gay men around y'all and don't tell them right from wrong. Matthew, what make you think they don't know right from wrong? What make you think that? What make you think they don't know right from wrong? That's like saying a man who's sweetheart and don't know right from wrong. He know right from wrong, but he chooses sweetheart. But I will tell you this, and this could be a little controversial what I'm about to say. As a woman, sometimes it's a benefit to having a gay friend, a gay man as a friend. And let me tell you what a benefit is, especially living in this town. You all heard me before talk about my friendship with the late Shane Rolay. Shane used to reveal some serious things to me about what was happening in the LGBT. Well, back then they didn't have all these letters, but the LGBTQIA plus community. He used to tell me some serious things. But one of the benefits of a woman having a friend in a gay male is that he could tell her when somebody on the down low. Because in this town, we got plenty of them. So before I dated anybody, I used to go to Shane and say, now, Shane, what about this one? He's straight or he's playful on the tape? And because that's, trust me, that's a tight-knit community. That's this network boy. They not a network. And Shane used to be straight and plain. No, he's straight. He's straight. You ain't got to worry about him. He's straight. And this person who tried to get with me got a little, tendencies. Shane used to tell me strangely, girl, Michelle, no fool with him. I can show you his mom on the side. I used to be like, what? Yeah, girl, he on our team, girl. No fool with him. I used to love Shane for that. I ain't gonna go to Shane and say that, Shane. This dude trying to talk to me. What's the story? And Shane would say yes or no, based on his knowledge of the network. No, Michelle, that one, no. He's sweet mom. Don't mind he, coming after you like that. That one on the down low. And I used to be like, oh my God. So to me, that was a good thing. To have a gay friend. To give me the heads up. When I about to put myself in something what I don't need to put myself in because somebody don't want to be honest with who they are. Louis say laugh out loud. A lot of these women getting swing. Yo, listen, more than you know. Here we go with this ambulance again. More than you know. A lot of women ended up marrying these men or getting with these men who on the down low, who know what they into, but using these women, that's what they used to call them, beard. I don't know if they still do. A beard for a man on the down low is a woman who he dating publicly just to make it seem like he, you know, ain't the man, but on the down low, he and the man. So she's just being used by him as a cover. But I digress. That's not what the show about today. That's a whole other show within itself. So let me get back on track. We have a call online. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, lady. Welcome. How are you doing?
I good. How are you?
You take your pressure pills today?
I good, man. I don't know why you always say. Listen, I'm one of the healthiest people you know. I good.
I know that. That's what get me. After the show this morning, you kind of got me thinking, man, because you ain't scared of nothing. You ain't scared to attack nothing.
I do all to be scared, man.
You sure you ain't no man?
If you didn't catch me 30 years ago, I might have been a little timid. Child, them days have passed. It is what it is.
Darling, I didn't know you 30 years ago when you used to be in the newsroom. I used to come and dinner.
Oh yeah, it might have mattered to me then. You might have been able to intimidate me then. You might have been able to intimidate, but now, child.
Let me tell you why I agree with you. I agree with you 110% that who wants to be whatever they want to be, that's fine with me. Just, if you want to go be a spaceship, that's fine. Just don't ask me to fly with you. That's all. I agree with you. Don't ask me to fly. But when you try to force me in certain ways that, that's not natural, then I can have a problem with you with that. Because until a man who thinks he is otherwise can have a menstrual cycle, like you say, or have a genuine pap smear, I on Iran. And until the female can have her prostate check and one or two other things, then it is what it is. Y'all go be what y'all go be. That's all I call it. I agree 210%.
All right. Thanks so much for calling. It is what it is, man. I too old to be playing pretend. I too old for that. I'm sorry. I too old for that. That might be the way of the world today, but I mean, I got to go with it. Because madness is still madness. Whether you want to call it something different or not, whether you want to put a label on it or not, madness is still madness. And I too old to be playing pretend games. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Because how you could use somebody who ain't never had a period to sell a tampon to somebody, man, come on, man. Make this make sense. And speaking of, that last video had the young man talking about this period pain. We got a local transvestite on Shanique Miller show the other night say he's have cramps every month and put to the degree that he can't walk sometimes. That's what he said. Or she say, or they say, or whatever pronoun they use. Now, I did a whole show on the menstrual cycle just to teach people what causes period pain. Just in case somebody decides to get it twisted and say, well, you see, there's a period pain too. Well, I ain't denying that they don't have pain, but it ain't from no period. Because they ain't got no ovaries to release no egg, what gotta be released and squeezed out. And that's what causes period pain. So until you could bust up here with some ovaries and start producing some eggs that need to be released, you may be having pain, but you need to go check the doctor to see what's causing that pain because there ain't no menstruation. I'm not playing pretend. That's for when you're a little toddler and you're lonely and you ain't got no siblings around and all your cousins gone to school or whatever. Then you just play pretend with your imaginary friend. I'm not playing pretend. I too old for this foolishness. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Michelle Malcolm.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. Hey, Michelle, you get stressed up, and when you get ready to get married to a man now, you will be stressed right out, man. You need to cool down a little bit. Michelle, you see the same people you be talking about them same woman right group and things you be siding on, talking about man and the sympathy and things like that. They fighting for woman right for them same it. What you talk about just now, it's them. And that's what they're fighting for. We need to try to unite man and woman in this country, and we don't need no division. I as woman, you as man, so I need rights. No, all of us need rights. Human rights for all, not just no woman, for all. Because they're secretly trying to get rights for, I guess, the illegal migrant woman and all them and all the other things. They call themselves woman, man, be it man, who, I guess they can't have everything. But that one you see, yeah, crampy. I wonder where that cramp come from, Michelle.
I don't know.
Hello?
Now, just for the record, I don't agree with you. I don't believe that is the agenda of everybody who stands
That
up.
is the agenda, Michelle Malcolm.
I don't believe that. As a woman, I go on record to say I disagree with you. But go ahead. You entitled to your opinion. Go ahead.
Michelle, I know you like man. You don't like no woman, man. When you fighting with that, see, the whole thing is a deception. Notice every single day on Guardian Radio, I call it Nation Out. That show early in the morning. The one who I don't think he ever had a woman, who always talking about woman rights, and keep pushing it, and never talk about the little boy who got sodomized, the 5-year-old boy just got sodomized a couple of days ago. Wouldn't talk about that. And see, that's the agenda, Michelle. That's all right. That ain't okay with us, but that's what they want. That's what they pushing, and you right on the wrong side, Michelle. Michelle, when you get married, Michelle, you'll ever marry a person who like Jesus?
Listen, I can let you go, because you run it out now. You run it out. I can always count on you to run out. That's your specialty. So bye.
You talking truth, man. You ain't just stressing yourself about all these people in shop with stuff, man. You like, man?
I'm not stressed out. I am not stressed out. I am not stressed out. But we can let you go.
Michelle, I listen to you, man. I listen to you. I don't call it. Listen, Stop
we can let you go because it's time for me to take a break. So, I got to cut you. Sorry. Time for me to take a break because you're running out now. And I expect you to run over the call, When I hear your voice, I say, here we go again. Time to run out now. But hurry up. You entitled the opinion. Okay? We're going to take this break. When we come back from this break, y'all got to see this next clip. This foolishness really got to stop. And the only way this could stop is if y'all right-thinking people stand up and say, enough is enough. You want to go woke? Well, now it's time for you to go broke because we ain't supporting your foolishness no more. That's the only way this madness could stop. We'll take a break, and when we come back, prepare yourself for what you're about to see on the other side of the break. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons.
With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks.
We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here. We're talking about go woke, go broke. What happens when people stand up and say enough is enough? The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We are streaming live to Facebook, on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. We are also streaming live on YouTube, and you can find us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. And you can also download the app, the Global 99.5 FM app, to your smart device. Check us out there. The telephone numbers to call, like I said, 3260271, 3260272. WhatsApp is 8010271, 8010271. And a huge welcome to all of you who are tuned in by way of radio. All right, so I promised you I was going to play something on this side of the break that's going to blow your mind. But before we go there, I want to read a couple of your comments. Let's see where we are. So Sandra says, some women know their men playing both sides of the fence, I think, because you're not sure what side you on. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Um, all right, let's see. We also have a comment coming in. This one says, uh, menstruation is the female body releasing unfertilized eggs from the uterus in a monthly cycle. I paid attention in science class. Glad you did. We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon, Miss Malcolm.
Hi.
Yes, this is Ken and I'm a Freeport. The last
Hi,
caller you
Ken.
had before you took your break. He's dead on it, Miss Malcolm. And I know you know
Okay.
he's dead on it because when they have this woman rights come in and trying to push for this, it's that gay agenda. It's that is the trans rights agenda. They're pushing for that. When they say they was going to help men's, it's only because the manipulators even sign for it because they include us in this. Why woman would and worry about what man agenda is all about? And your call is dead right. I don't know the marriage part or nothing, but the same people you're representing, this is the same people who trying to push for this African thing. But you as a reporter, you got a job to do, so it's your job. And one more thing, Miss Malcolm, we got to stick together because this dengue fever got a next virus in it, and we're gonna punish if we don't stick together. And how we gonna stick together is we come together as people and fight off if they try to lock us down again. Fight off anything is not under the Constitution. We have to. It's not a game. It's gonna come right before our eyes before this year out, and everybody walking around like ain't nothing going on. But Michelle, I don't want to prove anything, but we got to get on our foot now. The people who are part of this, we got to get together, Michelle, or we can perish. Y'all have a good day, Kendall.
All right, thank you for calling, Kendall. All right, let's get back on track. I'm not going to argue today whether or not the women who are pushing for women's rights. I ain't going to anything because that's a whole other show in itself. And I don't want to get off track today. We got a little bit of time left in the show. All right, so let's get back on track. So again, the show today is Go Woke, Go Broke. What happens when people stand up and say enough is enough? And I've been talking about these different brands that have lost quite a bit of revenue as a result of choosing to use transgender people to advertise their products when their products, in some cases, have absolutely nothing to do with the transgender community. And this time we have another call on the line. Let's go to that call first before I play the next clip. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, good day. So nice to be on GPS. I just heard your comment, what you said just now. You said, I'm not going to argue with whether, these topics are related to women's rights or whatever. And guess what? I don't expect you to because, like you said, this is the show. People are entitled to their opinion. But I have some sad news for you. Disguised under it all, that is the actual real agenda. The persons that have put forth all of the legislation that have to do with women's rights, they are actually fighting for the transgender movement in reality. And even if you don't see it or don't agree with it now, that's okay because, like you said, everyone has their own opinion. But eventually, the entire onion will peel out, and you will see that is the case, sadly but truly. But enjoy your day, my love, and continue to do what you're doing.
Thank you for calling. And who knows, maybe I'll do some deeper research and come across something. And maybe if you all know something, you all need to send it to me so that I could be more informed. Okay, so last clip of the day. Adidas has decided that in order to advertise women's swimwear, they are going to fine, in this case, it's not Dylan Mulvaney, but Adidas decided to use in their advertising campaign for women's swimwear a human being. I'm not even sure if this is a transgender person or just a gay man. Because this dude, you could see the bulge. You could see it here on their chest. He's You know what? Let me just play the clip. And again, my radio audience, I am so sorry. Please go to Facebook or YouTube at some point and watch the show so you can get a full appreciation for the visual aspects of this show. Okay? But I could just play this clip and then we can talk about it. Because you gotta see this to believe this.
Tommy Lahren, why do you say that the Adidas ad erases women?
Well, I think it's pretty clear. When you have a women's swimsuit and you put a man in the women's swimsuit to sell to women, it really feels like you think that men can do it better than women. And I'm very confused here because I thought there was generations of feminists that stood up for women to get the equal treatment, to be represented. And now that same political ideology is standing up for biological men to replace women in the categories that should be meant for us, the spaces that should be meant for us. I know it feels to a lot of people like this is like faux outrage, but it's really not. This is telling young girls who are looking at Adidas, a mega brand, that they're not good enough to be a model for the brand. They're not good enough to be an athlete in their own sports, that biological men can do it better. What kind of message is that?
Have you any idea why Adidas would put a hairy-chested male in a women's swimsuit and call that an advertisement? Why did they do it?
Unfortunately, I think it's the same thing that happened with Bud Light. I think that there are a few activists in the room in these marketing departments that have these brilliant ideas to them, and then nobody wants to say anything because they don't want to be called a name. Can you imagine sitting in a room, someone comes up with an idea like this, let's put a biological man in a swimming suit, and you're the person in the room that says, I don't know if that's a good idea. They're going to immediately label you a transphobe, a bigot, intolerant. Nobody wants to be called a name anymore, so they let this happen, whether it's good for business or not. We are being ruled by a small minority of activists in these companies.
I think you're absolutely right, Tommy. I really do. Next case. 7 sorority sisters from the University of Wyoming are suing their national chapter for allowing a transgender woman into their group. Artemis Langford wants to move into the house, the fraternity house, the sorority house, this fall. The sorority sisters are suing to stop that. They say Langford makes them feel uncomfortable. By the way, Caitlyn Jenner called Langford a perverted, sexually deviant male. We want to respond to that.
Yeah, so I agree with Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, this is absolutely irresponsible. You have a biological man, a 200-pound biological man who wants to be in a sorority house with other girls. There have already been reports of him watching them undress, right? Being excited at watching them undress. The problem with this has all become really sticky because you have people who are transgender or think they're transgender, and then you have people that are using the label in order to be perverts and get away with it. And I believe that's what's happening in this case. And again, back to the same conversation. What happened to the feminists when they had the Me Too movement? What happened to the consent, right? You were always supposed to listen to women, believe all women. Now these young women are saying this makes us uncomfortable, and all of a sudden their voices don't matter. How did we get here?
It's not an anti-trans movement. I don't think it is that. But it's a questioning of trans in ads and trans in our society and sororities and athletics. There's an increasing questioning of what they're doing and why should they be doing this.
Right. And again, it's not about being anti-trans. It's about understanding that this is a small segment of the population that has been allowed to run roughshod over the rest of the population, and everybody just has to shut up about it or else be called a name. I don't think we can shut up.
Would you say women, biological women in women's sports, biological men in men's sports, and that's it?
Absolutely. And you know what? If they want to come up with their own category, that's actually fine by most people, right? This isn't about discriminating against those people and not wanting them to participate. It's about making sure that the majority of the population still has spaces that are meant for them, that are reserved for them, and have the integrity of those preserved. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
All right. So those of you who were able to see the video, you saw what was clearly a man. Penis still intact. No breasts. Here on the chest. And this who they choose to advertise women's swimwear. Make it make sense, people. Like I say, it's bad enough that somebody sitting around that marketing table say, boy, you know, it would be a good idea. What if we get a man to dress up in women's swimwear to sell swimsuits to women? Yeah, that's a good idea, yeah. And nobody sitting on that table had the nerve to say, man, you take your medication today. You really think that's a good idea? How about no? Because we so concerned about, well, they ain't gonna like me if I tell them the truth. They ain't gonna like me if I call a spade a spade. You know when you're small children, right? And man, you want to let a child, let another child or a group of other children say, we don't like you no more. We don't want to play with you no more. Man, that's the end of the world for that child. Oh, they'll weep and they'll cry and they, oh my God. So what happened to us adults? How we get back there? Where we scared to stand up and say, stop this madness. Because I don't want them not to I don't want them to stop liking me. I don't want them to push me out the crowd. Like, you know, like, really, people, you are going to sit by and allow this madness, obvious madness, to continue because you don't have the backbone to stand up and say, no, this is not right. Because somebody might cancel you. You realize that's kindergarten foolishness, right? That's what the journalists do, right? The journalists cry when all their little friends say, we ain't playing with you no more. And they just go in the corner and they just cry because all their friends don't want to play with them no more. This what we gonna do as a world? I mean, this is sheer and utter madness. You know, it's the same argument of transgender women who clearly have a biological advantage based on the fact that their physical body, they were born as a male. So they obviously have a physical advantage over naturally born females, but they arguing that, yeah, we should be able to compete against biological females because we identify as women. And you won't get vexed with women who stand up and say, no, this is not fair. This is not right. You clearly have a physical advantage over me because of the fact that you're a man. And you cutting off your penis and creating a crevice there. Don't change the fact that you have bigger muscles, a bigger frame. So clearly, you have an unfair advantage. So no, this is not right. No, we prefer to be politically correct. Well, you know, we have to be inclusive because they identify as a female, and so they should be included in female sports. That's only the right thing to do. You know, and we, you know what? I identify as a billionaire. You also treat me like a billionaire, please, because I now identify as a billionaire. You know, it's just utterly absolute foolishness. And unless we as a collective stand up for those of us who do not agree with this, and unless we as a collective stand up and say enough is enough, the madness will continue. You see what's going on in America right now. Then people stand up and say, okay, y'all done crossed the line now. We boycotting y'all. You know what I'm talking about? If you tuned into the show late, go back and watch it again. Bud Light catching hell right now for the same foolishness. May never be able to recover for the same foolishness. But you got people doubling down. No, sir. I, for one, ain't drinking my Kool-Aid. I, for one, will call a spade a spade. I am not playing the pretend game. You are not going to cancel me. You are not going to replace me as a woman. It ain't gonna happen. We got to stop the madness, people. We got to stop the madness. And the only way to do that is to stand up collectively and say enough is enough. Hit them where it hurts. Because some people only understand one language, and that's their money. Because you see, all of a sudden now Bud Light realized their mother's sick. Billions of dollars lost. Now all of a sudden they catch themselves quick. Now all of a sudden you're going back to the base. Who made you all the billions of dollars to begin with? Too much, too little, too late? You think? We need to start being the adults that we are and stop acting like little children on the kindergarten playground who just get all upset and hurt because people stop playing with them. Well, they said they ain't gonna play with me no more. Oh. Grow the hell up and stand up for what you believe. And again, all power to listen. It ain't none of my business. What you decide to do, that ain't none of my business. That ain't none of my business. I ain't trying to get in your business. Then you decide to make it my business. Oh, now I can express my opinion. And don't tell me I don't have a right to do so because you decide to throw this in my face. That was your decision. So now I believe it's time for us as a collective to say, go woke, go broke. We're not supporting you in this madness anymore. If you decide as a company, as a brand, that you are going to cater to 1% of the community just to be a part of the crowd, just so, look here, and the other 99% are supposed to stand by and take it, how about no? We're not taking it. Stand up, people, for what you know to be right. There is power in numbers. Enough is enough. I don't want no hairy chest man with an obvious penis selling me swimsuits. I'm sorry, Adidas, but no. I'm not buying any of your swimsuits. I'm sorry, Nike, but no. I ain't buying your women's sports bra when this skinny white boy, and yeah, I said it, skinny white boy prancing up and down, talking about he's selling women's bras. You got to be stupid. On what planet do you think this is okay? It ain't gonna happen. Enough is enough. Anyhow, last break. And stop telling me to calm down because I'm very calm. I just passionate. We're going to take this commercial break. We're going to wrap it up on the other side. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added Gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Radio 99.5.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show, especially if you tuned in late. Watch it from the beginning. Tell everybody else. And, you may not agree with me. That's your right. We all are, entitled to our opinion. This is an opinion show, and I just happen to be sitting in the seat of host, and so I get the privilege of offering you my opinion. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So before we get out of here, let me read a couple of your comments. Let's see. Marissa says, the thing is, these men are not denying that we are women, Michelle. They're saying they are no different from us. The devil is a liar. And the truth is not in him. So, yeah. How about now? Marissa also says madness. Sure. You got to start up a bunch of believe people. Lloyd says, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And final comment of the day. Rose says, Michelle, all I could do is listen. I don't know what in Jesus' name to say. What you can say? No one thing, you better stand up. Come together, people, and stand up and say, enough is enough. You got to do it. You got to get in the fight. Otherwise, you can wake up some years from now. Lord, how we get here? We get here because you wasn't willing to stand up and say enough is enough. That's the show, y'all. Tomorrow is an open line show, TGIF Open Line Friday, where hopefully we get more of you to call in and give us your opinion about the week that was or anything else that you want to get off your chest. This will be the time to do it. Until then, God willing, I'll be right back here, same place, same time tomorrow, 2 to 4 p.m. with another, hopefully, enlightening show. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on